Well, hello to Sterling, Roman, Cleo, Winnie, and James. Today, we are going to read a story about Jesse Owens. But before we read that story, I am going to go over some words with you that we might find in the story. So let's find my list of words, which is in here. We have, we were talking about this being the happy time of the year. So there we go, happy. And birthday, which is birth and day, birthday. And were, he's going to be a nice story, but dog is not. But Baxter insists that you know how to spell dog, D-O-G. Is, I'll bet we find that in the story. Yes. Mom. It was. Are. She, S-H-E, she. Me. I. You. Not. The. Dad. And no. All right, so let's turn this so we both can look at the book. And the book is called Little People with Big Dreams, Jesse Owens. Look at all of those medals he won. He won those in the Olympic Games. Let's turn on another light and see if we can read that better. Okay. This says, little Jesse was the youngest child in the Owenses, a humble family of farmers from Alabama. He was the 10th and last of his siblings. But when his mother called for dinner, he beat everyone to the table. Here's his mom calling everybody in to have dinner. Here's a picture of he and one of his teachers, I believe. Let's read about it. At school, no one could catch him. His gym teacher was so impressed, he asked him to join the track team after school. But Jesse had to run to work, repairing shoes and delivering groceries to support his family. So even though he wanted to be on the track team, he had to do jobs to bring in money to help his family. Of course, that didn't stop Jesse. He decided to practice in the morning when the sun was rising and everyone was still in bed. He was determined to be the best athlete in the world. Here he is running. Oh, look at that. Looks like fire. Why do we have that there? Let's see. Jesse's first lesson was to imagine that the track was on fire, even though that wasn't true. But it helped him develop his own elegant running style, keeping his feet off the ground as much as possible. So he pretended that there was fire. He had to keep his feet up off the ground running fast. Now he is on the track team. He entered the Ohio State University, where everyone called him the Buckeye Bullet. Buckeye is a nickname for people who go to Ohio State University. Jesse became the first African-American captain of a university team and the first who had to work as a lift operator in order to pay for his schooling. Now, a lift operator, way back when he was a kid, when you rode the elevator, it was called a lift. And someone in a uniform like that would ask you what floor you're going to, and they would push the buttons on the elevator. Today, when we take the elevator, we push the buttons ourselves. Here he is. Despite Jesse's success on the track, he had to wait for his teammates to take their shower before he could wash himself. All around him, life was separated for black people and white people. So even though he was the captain of the team, he had to wait until all of the other kids showered before he could go in and take a shower. Doesn't seem fair. During one single championship, Jesse set 3 world records, and he tied a 4th in only 45 minutes. It was one of the most celebrated moments in the history of sports and a good chance for Jesse to prove himself before going to the Olympics. So he ran 100 yards in 9.4 seconds. He did a jump that was 8.13 meters. He ran 220 yards in 20.3 seconds. And he jumped the hurdles. See those? Those are hurdles that track stars jump. He jumped them in 22.6 seconds. These were all like records, world records. Nobody else in the world had ever done that. And here he is winning a race. The Olympics were held in Berlin, Germany in 1936. The country at the time was ruled by a really terrible man whose name was Adolf Hitler. Hitler believed that the white athletes were superior because they were white. But Jesse won gold medals and stole the spotlight from Hitler's hateful regime. So Hitler thought that the white athletes were the very best in the whole world, and Jesse Owen proved him wrong because Jesse won all sorts of gold medals. More than 110,000 people stayed to watch Jesse win 3 gold medals. He was an Olympic hero, the fastest man in history, but still a humble person and happy to hug his toughest rival. So even though he was winning, he always tried to be nice and congratulate the people he was racing against. Oh, look, there's a parade. Back in 1936, that's what cars looked like. A lot different than they look today. When Jesse arrived home, there was a dinner in his honor. But as soon as he got to the dinner, he realized nothing had changed because he could not go in the main door to go to his dinner. He had to go around to the back door because at that time only whites could go in the main door and black people had to go to the back door. Not fair. Sadly, soon after, no one remembered Jesse's amazing achievements, and he had to take any job he could to make a living. He worked at a gas station pumping gas, and he toured in a jazz band. And he even accepted money to do a race against a horse. He had retired when he finally got his most valuable award, the President's Medal of Freedom. It's the highest honor any American can get, and it was President Ford that gave him that in 1976. No athlete embodied the struggle against injustice and racism more than Jesse. And there's a picture when he got a medal. But now he's old. Every time the Olympic Games take place, little Jesse is remembered. The humble boy who fought the wind and sought out new sights, running just on the strength of his feet and the courage of his lungs. Thanks, Jason. And here's a picture of the real Jesse Owen. This must be with one of his coaches. This is him winning one of the races. That's a picture of him running. And that's a picture of him when he's a little bit older. Okay. So that's the end of our story today about Jesse Owen, who was a real person who was a track star and broke all sorts of, it was like the fastest runner in the whole world. That's pretty cool. Okay, well, I hope that everyone's having a great day today. What? Oh, Baxter wants to say something. Come here, what do you want to say? Oh, now he's shy. He wanted to say something and now he's being shy and he won't say anything. But I will say, have a wonderful day, and I will talk to you soon. Love you all. Mwah. Bye-bye.